It's a Sunday afternoon. You're sitting on your couch watching your favorite football team play. As you see a wide receiver jump into the air to catch a ball, an opposing player slams into him, causing a mid-air collision. You instantly hear an eruption of cheers because people love this brutality. There's glory in this violence. But in all reality, we're celebrating this player's potential brain damage. And the real question at hand is, are you willing to let someone you know and love pad up and become one of these statistics? Now, as you may assume, the topic of my conversation tonight will be the connection between football and concussions, and how you may not know as much about concussions as you think. So what is a concussion? Most people believe it's the result of a blow to the head rendering a person unconscious, which this is true in more severe cases, but it could be as simple as feeling foggy or seeing stars. Now, some of these common signs and symptoms could be a headache, dizziness, amnesia, slurred speech, and vomiting. And these symptoms could only last a couple hours, or they could last days, weeks, and in some of those severe cases, last forever. And it's the hours following the concussion that are the most crucial. You should stay away from loud and bright environments and try to keep cognitive functions very low, and this will help speed up that healing process. Concussions are occurring at a higher and higher rate every year, and according to the CDC, sports-related concussions occur 3 million times per year among student athletes between the ages of 15 and 26, and now are only second behind motor vehicle accidents as the leading cause of brain injury in the U.S. And now this is frightening because Boston University states that 85% of concussions go undiagnosed. And now once you have your first concussion, you are 4 times more likely to receive your second one. And this puts you at even further risk of permanent brain damage. Now, it isn't clear how detrimental these concussions are on a developing brain like one of a child, but their brains are more delicate and more susceptible to these concussions when compared to an adult. They lack the strong neck and chest muscles that help prevent these head injuries. Deborah McBride, an MSN at the Oakland Medical Research Center, states that 3.5 million children playing under the high school level were sustaining these high impacts during games, and that during one game, these average children were sustaining 107 impacts that ranged from 10 to 100 G-forces. Now, it's these impacts that are being directly linked to a disease known as CTE, or chronic traumatic encephalopathy. And this disease can lead to sudden death, and in some cases has led to suicide. And yes, CTE is more commonly diagnosed in older athletes, but as more research has been taking place, this CTE has been diagnosed in younger and younger athletes. And we now have a known case of CTE in an 18-year-old high school athlete who suddenly died and only had 4 known concussions. Now, these concussions cannot be overemphasized from a professional level all the way down to a Pop Warner level. There is credible data supporting the correlation between concussions and permanent brain damage. Now, don't take this information in the wrong way. This is not an attack against football. They are doing their best by funding medical research, by starting programs to help concussion prevention. This is just a way to inform you the dangers these athletes are being subjected to. A call to action for friends and family to become more educated about concussion prevention, and in hopes to help these young athletes be aware of the dangers. Now, with this being presented to you, please ask yourself again, are you willing to let your friend or your loved one pad up and become one of these statistics?